I am the advisor of Gayoung, and not only that, I've been having the pleasure to have her in the program not just for this year. It's been, I think, 3 years or 3 years, right? And it's been incredible to see her develop through these years, and to keep that choir fire that God has, which is really amazing. And the music you hear today is very inspiring, and it's a really big pleasure to have you here. Please clap for Gayoung. Just as a quick reminder, witness will be immediately after. We cannot have such a long set, so this will be got to make limit to 20 minutes, then 10 minutes for the panel to discuss, and then witness immediately after. Please come and prepare. Okay, Gayoung.
Hello, my name is Gayoung Bae, and I'm from South Korea, and I play piano. I've been in BGGI for 3 years, and I'm really happy to share my final project with all of you. Thank you for coming. I'm going to explain my presentation briefly. My thesis is finding my identity through Korean traditional music. I researched Korean traditional music and Korean philosophy, and I applied those things into my compositions. The reason why I started this research is, like, one day in Danilo's workshop, like, he played a drum set, and he played a variation of African rhythm, and I heard it was like exactly the same rhythm. It was Korean traditional rhythm, and I was so surprised. And I'm sure there's a big similarity between African and Korean, and even like Korean and like other music from other parts. And also, I got so much inspiration from all of you. Like, we are all from different country, and we have all different culture, and we speak different language, but we are all connected, like, somehow. This is a really beautiful thing, and it makes me think, like, who am I and where am I from, and what is my root, what's my identity. So that's why I start this project. Before I move on, I want to introduce my great band. On tenor sax, Gregory Gruber Jr., on guitar, Eduardo Mercury, on cello, Hwak Young-jang, on piano and Korean percussion, it's me. On bass, Seung-ha Lee, on drums, Jorge Perez Alvela, an engineer, Adam Weiss, and my co-producer is Seung-ho Jang, and my advisor is Marco Pignataro and Alain Mallet. Thank you so much. Thank you again. In Korea, number 3 is perfection. So many things are based on 3. I researched about Korean philosophy called Chanjiin. It's heaven, earth, and human being. So those 3 elements is the cycle of 3, and they cannot like separate themselves. Like, they coexist. Actually, they are like one. And this philosophy is very related to Korean culture and social, spiritual perspective, language, and music. Actually, the Korean music has really long history. It's about like 4,000 years. As I told you, the music is very related to like a cycle of 3. The triple F means heaven, earth, and human being. The rhythms are very related to life. The most of the rhythms are divided into 12 beats. So it means January to December, and it includes the 4 seasons from spring to spring, summer, fall, winter. And also the people express their joy and sorrow of their daily life through the music. I recorded 5 songs. The 3 songs are based on Korean traditional rhythm and Korean traditional folk song. Especially the third one, Oho. I tried to combine Korean traditional rhythm and a story that I wrote from my imagination. And also like a perfume and sepia painting, those are based on a story and a poem that I wrote. Also, it's from my imagination. The first tune is Galactic Korea. I applied Korean traditional rhythm called 쌍진풀이. 쌍진풀이 is a small part of a song named 영남가락, which is farmer's song. This is very related to shamanism. So people played this song when they wish for a good harvest. I'm gonna play you the rhythm first. This instrument is 장구. The name is 장구. As you can see, there's 2 skins. One side is female, one side is male. So it's combination of yin and yang. So the music is rhythm is really related to nature, universe. I'm gonna play the first song. And the next song is Ocean Funeral. I got an idea from Korean traditional folk song. The lyrics is about fisherman's life. I'm going to play the original one first. Can you turn it down the audio, please? For the composition, I applied the melody, and also I combined my imagination of fisherman's life. So I try to visualize the fisherman's life. I'm gonna play you the song. Thank you. The third tune is called Oho. The composition is based on Korean traditional rhythm called 중중머리. This is the rhythm. And I also described emotional ups and downs in our daily life. I got an inspiration from emotion changes. When you bump into a situation, like even it's really like a small thing, like you feel like, wow, this is really big thing. What can I do? Like, and you are like thinking so much, and you feel like, wow, there's nothing to do. But and you're using like and consuming a lot of energy and emotions. But like sometimes later, actually, it wasn't a really big deal. It was nothing. This song is about that kind of story. The next tune is like a perfume. This composition idea is based on a story that I wrote. It's also from my imagination. This story is about a woman. Like she loves herself too much, like a narcissism. So she only cares about herself. She only thinks about herself. So she hurts people around her. So she got a punishment from God. So like small bugs are start to living in her brain, and when she's sleeping, they are eating her memories of love. So when she wakes up, like she feels like, wow, I'm missing something, but I cannot figure out what it is. So I try to describe the feeling of missing. And also, in the story, her job is a perfumer. She makes a perfume. So it's like the perfume smell is not like permanent. It's fading away like her memories. So that's why the title is like a perfume. The last tune is Sepia Painting. I wrote a poem for the song, and it's about time traveling.
Thank you, Ga. Big applause for Gaga and please. Thank you. Beautiful music.
Congratulations on beautiful music. I mean, great productions, very effective arranging, and I enjoyed the presentation. I wanted to ask you a little bit, we didn't hear that much of your improvising as a pianist here. We heard a lot of the excerpts. I know we only heard part of these pieces, but could you talk a little bit about how you use improvisation in your music? We did hear one thing, the one with the Korean 12/8 rhythm, where you were improvising a lot. It sounded fantastic. I just wanted to hear even more of that. But I know we have short time. So.
Yeah, because of the time, I wanted to hear more of the composition, so I cut my improvisation. Yeah, and for the three songs, like Galactic Korea and Ocean Funeral and the Oho, the solo form was like, totally free, so we didn't have like, anything. So we like, improv like just like free music. Yeah.
Wow, great. I really enjoyed that. I had just a few quick questions. What do you remember the rhythm that Danilo played that opened you up to this project?
It was. I think it was Bembe, and the accent was like second beat on the triplet, like something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to have just known what that was, just to see kind of what it seemed like that was the launching pad for you. So I would like to have known what that was. And also, you talked about Cycle of Three and Heaven and Earth and humanity, and I was wondering if that was connected to, because you talked about it as connected to the Korean culture, but I was wondering if it was connected to any specific religion.
Any specific rhythms?
Religion.
Religion.
Opposed to just the culture, you know.
Our like religion is like shamanism. It's very related to shamanism. Like all Korean traditional music is for like praying and worship for the God, like any of God.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what I found for me, like when you got to your song Oho, that's to me when I heard more of your personality. The first two pieces felt, you know, like you were concentrating on focusing on, you know, the Korean music.
Yeah.
And I actually got more engaged, became more engaged when you did the last three pieces that felt more original. So, I mean, I would just encourage you when you're looking for that connection to keep, you know, even more of your own personality in your composing while looking for that connection. And let's see. Actually, the last piece sounded more French to me. French. Italian, yeah. I was actually between French and Italian. I was like, we could go either. Well, anyway, so I just found that interesting. I don't know enough about Korean music, but I didn't seem to hear so many influences as in like the earlier pieces.
The last two songs is not from Korean traditional impression.
Okay, but those, they are original though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing, really. So maybe you were French or Italian in another life. And so this last piece where you said you rejoice with your past self and return to where you belong. So is that the overall theme of the whole, just rejoicing with your past self and returning to where you belong? Is that like your overall? I was, you know, through it trying to get a better understanding of your overall theme for your presentation. I mean, I understand it's the connection with your Korean culture and history, but when I heard the music, you know, as I said, the last pieces spoke to me more. So it felt like this was more of your overall theme. Would that be right?
Like last three pieces are like what was my goal. Like Korean ancestor did. Like they put their life and joy and sorrow, like every feeling into the music.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why like I try to like put my life in my music. This one, especially this one,
Mm-hmm.
like I grew up in city, so I I didn't really have chance to take real train, not like the T subway. So one day I took on a train, and my seat was like a back-facing seat, and I looked window outside, and it feels like I'm going to the past, like I'm time traveling. So this composition idea is from that moment.
Oh, great job. The only other thing I'm going to say is when you mix your music, put more of yourself volume-wise, like mix less guitar and bass and a little more piano, just so we can hear more of you, okay?
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Sure, I'll say thank you. Gayoung, thank you very much for this. I'll keep it quick. I think the way I relate to your music is in the sense that, well, so many of us here are foreigners. And I can appreciate what Ellen and Terry said. But the way I was mostly impressed with your music is that we're in a country where the musical tradition is actually what made us want to come here, and clearly a country that gave us some of the most incredible improvised music we've ever heard, and yet we are responsible for trying to find our own soul. I've been here 33 years. I've been trying to play the blues for that long, but everything that I play sounds French in the end, and you know, there's something that I have to deal with. And I think that you are Korean, and I know because you told me that you actually researched your own culture for this particular project because you didn't know that much about it. And yet, in the end, I think that you will discover that your culture is more about, it's not so much about how much you know about the tradition of your music, but it's about all of you and the food you ate and the sounds you heard and the landscapes you saw, and all of this eventually will come through in the music, and it's already starting to do this. And as someone who dealt with you on a mostly private lesson level, I was so impressed with the level of musicianship that you brought to it, because I didn't always see I mean, I always knew you were great, but I didn't always see the extent to which you were great. So I commend you for this, because you really put together a beautiful package, and you're a beautiful person and a beautiful player, and I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I hear in each section, I hear cycles, which is very nice. And some of the cycles seem exterior, but some of the cycles seem interior. I'm wondering, what did you learn about your own journey?
Like to express myself, like express my feeling. Actually, it's cultural thing. In Korea, like I'm not really used to talk about my feeling, and we like it's very conservative and very like it's totally opposite with US. So I'm not used to express myself. So I think I'm still learning to express my feeling through the music.
That might be your journey.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it seems like you're doing an amazing job in doing that, and I think that your music is very personal, but at the same time, you express feelings that we can all, definitely, feel in our own personal life. So, I think that's a great accomplishment to have such a expressive music and be so full of emotion and beautiful melody. And I think you maybe want to also continue this journey of studying composition, maybe even thinking about music for films. It seems a lot of your music have that evocative qualities that I could see in major composer for films, so something that maybe you want to consider. And I think this is really, really beautiful for what you're able to bring out in this composition, and that you're putting yourself, so naked, in your writing, your personal insight, and it's beautiful. My question, with that said, is I'm curious to know, especially because I hear so much of you, how much was Danilo influential in your journey as a composer and piano player in these years? If you can.
Danilo?
Yeah, because I know he was, but I would like to hear specifically. If you.
Oh, wow. So much, a lot. He also found the way to express himself through the Panamanian music, right? So that was the inspiration, one of the inspiration, and I love his music, and I love him as a person. I learned so much, not only music but also like humanity. Like, I think he's not just teacher for me. He's like how do you say?
Mentor.
A father. I have my father, but like father. Yeah.
Beautiful. Gayoung, please give it up for Gayoung.